Alright, round 2. Versus Discord member, Chatero. I can't remember if they were a Dredge or Survival player, but we have a Wasteland, so that's good against both of those decks. I think they're on Dredge, so we basically want to take a Wasteland hand whenever we can get it. So we're looking for no Dredgers, please. Opponent pitched Bloodghast 2 Dredgers. I definitely would not scoop here. Not with a Wasteland. Like, obviously, 10 Dredges is pretty good and probably going to be good enough, but we have our fast clock. I'm pretty willing to play this one out. If we hit a Mox in here, which we did, I actually think we're in, like, pretty decent shape. I'm not saying we're, like, 100% to win this game. I think we're still a dog, but... Well, that's just vintage. Like, this hand is good against decks that are not Dredge. Though this is one of our best hands against Dredge. Having Wasteland turn 1 Tarmogoyf, or turn 2 Tarmogoyf is one of our best hands. Alright, well, opponent's playing Hogak. That's going to be a problem. We do have a Force of Will for the first Hogak, but the bridges are going to be annoying. The best thing that can happen to us is for us to somehow, like, Lightning Bolt our own Snapcaster right now before our opponent finds a Dakmor salvage to bring back their Bloodghasts. Once our opponent Dakmor salvages and bring back Bloodghast, the game gets very hard for us. That's basically the clock we're playing to. So we want to have an accelerated Goyf as fast as possible. Fetch land, please. I think we're supposed to force this back. Well, that's not true, Karate. We can force Hogak. The very first Hogak we can force. I don't think it's going to be... That would be good enough, though. Like, it does take 2 Bloodghast to play this card, so if our opponent doesn't have a Cabal Therapy in their yard, it gets a little difficult. But with all of that in mind, I think it's still correct to force this. And hopefully we draw a mana source so that we can Dak Fade in. I should have been a little more specific. Alright, 4-turn clock. So opponent's got a Grave Troll here, hits a Narcomoeba, hits an Icarid, hits a Cabal Therapy. That's probably game. Yeah, our opponent has a Hogak here. We're dead. Unfortunate. Hitting Narcomoeba on its own would have been fine. Not fine, because they can block it, but hitting Narcomoeba and Cabal Therapy was definitely an issue here. Now they have Icarids, yeah. I think that's a fine game to play out. I don't think you're going to win it a lot of the time, but you definitely have hands involving, you have draws involving Time Walk that puts you in a reasonable place to win games there. So we're bringing in Tabernacle, Needle, and Trap. And we're boarding out Pyroblast. And we're boarding out Misstep. I don't actually think it's good. And we're boarding out Oof. We're keeping Grudge. I actually like 4 lightning bolts because we have to race with Tarmogoyf. And then maybe like a Narset probably. Could be like a cantrip too. Obviously Force isn't the greatest in this version, but like delaying a Hogak 1 turn is kind of necessary when we can't kill a Hogak. Her passive doesn't do nothing. So, like, we have Ravenous Trap draws where our opponent will activate Bazaar and not be able to dredge. So, Narset doesn't do nothing, but I do think Narset doesn't do a lot. Narset might be better than Force, though. Probably not. Let's try this. So our plan here is to waste or strip mine their Bazaar, have Ravenous Traps to beat fast plays, and then try to kill them with a Tarmogoyf as fast as possible. This hand has none of the things we just mentioned. If this was a Ruby, still would be not great. I think this is a mulligan. Tabernacle has been incredible for me, so I don't have to tell you. Not many decks can tutor it. I don't really think that's true. I've had not too many issues. Like, it's just another, like, it's the same amount of, like, likelihood of me drawing as a Ravenous Trap. Like, same as likelihood of me drawing as a Pithing Needle. All of those things have to happen on turn 1. A demonic tutor that doesn't happen on turn 1 doesn't matter in those cases anyways. So yeah, alright, we have a Needle and a Wasteland. I mean, this doesn't matter because I'm playing Ponder on turn 1 here. I'm gonna slow roll the Needle, I think. No, I probably... do I want to slow roll the Needle? I don't actually want to Wasteland because I want this Tarmogoyf to resolve. So I probably do want to play the Needle on turn 1. Yeah, I agree, Laga. I agree. Tabernacle is not very good against is not great against the opponent's Dredge deck. The black-green Dredge deck is pretty well suited to beat Tabernacle. But the pitch Dredge variants are very, very weak to Tabernacle. I also think Tabernacle is okay against these decks as well. So opponent is going to just slow Dredge here. We're going to get our clock online. We do want to find a Ravenous Trap as soon as possible. Though it's going to be... Alright, so 1 Bloodghast, no Dredgers. That's really good for us. So, and our pumped our Goyf a lot. So opponent's probably going to just pitch the Troll at the end of turn. Next turn we get to Ponder. Obviously, playing second Needle doesn't do anything against a Force of Vigor, so we won't do that. We definitely want to do these bolting things, but we need a mana to do that. Ask and you shall receive. We already have, I think, all of the types that are not Planeswalker that we can hit, so no need to bolt now. But this is a pretty fast clock. It's not exactly lethal next turn, though. This one hit another Bloodghast and an Icarid. That's still fine for us. They do have a salvage. They can get Bloodghast back if they want to. They have Leylines of the Void to stop our Wasteland recursion, which I think is, and like our Delve spells, which I think is interesting. They could have some number of claims. It's very possible. So I don't see a way we're going to be able to present lethal this turn unless we draw Time Walk. Yeah, in this matchup, it's pretty hard for us to kill our own thing, though. That's a good one. Those are both good ones. Ooh, opponent could have discarded a bridge. That might have been helpful, yeah. Opponent says they might have punted by not discarding a bridge instead of a troll there. Possible. Don't know if it's going to ever matter, though. I mean, now they're definitely dead, so... seems like a reasonable time to trap. Just so they can't do any kind of funny business. I don't actually think you need to trap there, but I didn't really feel like thinking about it. Oh. Needle was a lot better than Cage there, which was nice. I think our sideboard has gotten a lot better in the past couple days. Yeah, this is definitely a keep. It's got problems, obviously, but... I'm gonna go with, let's go with Probe to start and see if our opponent has a Force of Nature. They have a Strip Mine. That's an interesting card. They have a Petrified Field as well. The Needle did work. So, oh, that's a great draw. Okay, opponent. So I'm gonna go with Needle here. And I'm gonna go with Wasteland Needle. I don't want my Grove to get Strip Mine. No. If I go Strip Mine, then opponent just plays Field and Dredges. If I go Wasteland Needle, opponent probably goes Strip Mine, strip our Wasteland. But that's okay for us, because we really want this Watery Grove to be in play. I think the play is Wasteland Needle. We can trap if opponent hits really, really well off this Dredge. Well, that's actually really, really well enough. So I don't really want to have them bring in and prize the Malgrooms. All right, opponent didn't want to play that game, which is fair. All right, our Dredge package has been coming up pretty strong here. I'm really liking the package we put together for Dredge. I'm going to run to the bathroom real quick as we go for the next game.